You on, Miss Connor?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, everybody. We're live from South Carolina after just finishing a great town hall at Clemson. Our thanks to everybody who helped to organize that, to everyone who came out, all the good questions, the conversation with the Black Student Union right when we got to campus, then with the College Democrats, and then with everyone, including, Chris was just telling me, students who are leaders of organizations that may be more conservative or Republican, who also came out to ask questions or to say hello. We're grateful to everybody. Really, really enjoyed our visit. Very grateful for everyone's time. Our thanks also to Representative Rutherford, with whom we got to spend some time this morning in Columbia, who took us to the State House grounds, where we got to see the Monument to African American History, which is just really powerful, and also got to hear some other stories about some of the continuing challenges and battles about who we memorialize and commemorate, and who we do not, and some of the work left to do. Before that, got to spend a couple of hours at an extraordinary Baptist church in West Columbia, Brookland, with Pastor Jackson, who gave an amazing sermon that is still with us today, just about choosing your future in life, the things that you speak out in the atmosphere was part of his sermon. And I think about that in the positive way. He used this example where every time someone would ask him how he was feeling, he'd say, "I'm tired." And he said that he spoke it so often that it literally was making him more tired. And then he changed what he was saying, and he started to change how he was feeling. I thought that was a great story. I kind of think about that in terms of our president and some of the really awful stuff that he says, that he speaks out into the atmosphere, that changes the way that all of us are feeling and what we experience, and how we must not only speak out against it, call it out, including the president's comments about Congresswoman Omar the other day, but we must also talk about the way that we want this country to live its values and the way that we treat one another. Anyhow, his sermon today really resonated, and loved getting to meet his wife and his daughter and his grandson, R2, who's the best behaved young man that I've met, I think, on this trip.
He really liked you too.
Super charming. Oh my gosh.
Got a cute picture of you and him hugging.
Yeah, that was the best way to start the day.
Yeah.
And then we had a chance to drive up to Clemson, and now we're on our way to North Carolina. And in a little bit, Cynthia will tell you what, you don't have to go into detail, Cynthia, but you can tell us the cities that we're going to be in tomorrow. We would love for you to join us at the public events. And I think there's going to be 4 tomorrow.
And we're going to be in Charlotte, Lexington, Greensboro, and Chapel Hill. And hope to see you at one of those 4 stops if you're anywhere in the vicinity in North Carolina tomorrow. That's where we're headed tonight. But our visit to South Carolina began in Hilton Head. So our gratitude to the people we were able to meet with, including the publishers of La Isla magazine, bilingual publication in Hilton Head, some of the young dreamers that we met, others who were advocating for housing so that those who travel like a 4-hour round trip every day to work in Hilton Head but cannot afford to live there can afford to live near where they work. Some of the other challenges that we were talking about in terms of people being able to be proud of where they're from, who they are, hold their head up high, and those leaders and advocates who are making that possible. Bluffton, great town hall at the middle school in Bluffton. Loved getting to hear all of these great questions, do my best to respond to them. I think we had 750 people who came out. So thank you everyone who did that on a Friday evening. The next morning, starting out in Dorchester County, great town hall at Gilligan's, where our only regret is we didn't get a chance to eat the food. So
broiled oysters on our next visit to Gilligan's in Dorchester. Got to go to Charleston to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the MUSC hospital strike. 12 African American nurses, 11 of them women, striking because of unequal pay, poor working conditions, no ability to air their grievances and have them addressed. 12 of them fired for it, but thousands rallied to their cause and helped to make their case. And temporarily, at least, they were able to improve conditions. And so we marched with Pastor Dixon and others who wanted to commemorate that service and sacrifice and courage. Drove over to the march with Representative Marvin Pendarvis, who we're very happy to tell you announced his endorsement of our candidacy, his support of our campaign, and just is a tremendous leader in the State House on issues of housing, of retired teachers and other public servants who in South Carolina are having a hard time getting back in the workforce. Other things that he's working on, including telling us the stories of some of these striking hospital workers who are still alive and still advocating. We think of Ms. Brown and Ms. Small Singleton, whom we got to meet yesterday in Charleston. Shout out to Damon Fordham, the historian who marched with us, told us some fascinating history about Charleston, about South Carolina. We then got to go to Denmark, smaller community, Voorhees College, excellent student body, great leadership in the student body, Nathaniel who introduced us, everyone who came out, great town hall, learned a lot, stays with me, and I want to come back and deliver for Denmark. Ended our evening in Colombia eating a pimento cheeseburger. It was really good. Thank you, Jasmine, for the recommendation and for taking that courageous step and ordering a pimento cheeseburger with me. Really good. And then this morning, I already took you through there, and that brings us to now, Kano, now.
Yeah.
Now we're in the car.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to sing the song with me. All my ladies, come on.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that that's the song that we want to be listening to. That's what's on the radio. Let me change the channel.
It's not bad.
He never paid for the year.
I'm trying to get the right angle. It's like there, I think that's better.
30.
Here's a lot of
17.
white light. Some folks are telling me. Oh, this is a great song. Here we go.
So come see us tomorrow in North Carolina. The day after in Virginia, we'll be announcing the cities that we're visiting in Virginia tomorrow. But I think they're all already up on Facebook if you want a sneak preview.
Should be there.
Chris is on top of it.
So some of the questions coming in, people want you to rest your voice. They're worried about that. More on donut roulette. They want to know if we're going to do that.
Donut roulette. You know what we're doing now? We're doing the broccoli challenge.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, this is so good.
That is winning.
So healthy. So good for you.
Yeah, there you go. Eat your veggies, people. Eat your veggies.
So good.
That's about as healthy it gets on the road right there.
What did we have today?
So for breakfast, we had the continental breakfast at the hotel
Oh, we had brunch though.
there, and then we had brunch, but we started off with the continental breakfast.
Salvatore Sanchez.
Repeat.
Some raisins, nuts, which are very good,
You had some popcorn.
and then a good sandwich for dinner.
Exclusive pre-launch event for my book on May 6th in
A lot of
Orlando,
requests to
Florida.
come to their community: Savannah, Florida, Boston, Arizona, Phoenix, Charlotte, New York.
We want to go everywhere. So
Hickory, where's that? Let's come to Hickory. I don't know where that's at.
let's do it.
Yeah. There we go.
You want to give folks a shot of the jungle?
Oh, this is so From the Seattle, Denver.
So, last interesting story. As we're flying in,
Oh no.
we landed in. Did I already tell the story in the live
Oh
stream?
no, Beto, don't do
Not
it.
yet.
Please.
As we were flying into Savannah, Georgia, which is where we landed, rented a car, came to South Carolina, starting in Hilton Head the other night. We're coming in, and Cynthia, who's got the window seat, says, "Look, the jungle."
No.
Yes, you did.
I said it looks like. It looks like. That makes a big difference.
I thought you said, "Look."
Because, okay,
jungle.
Can I just defend myself a little bit? So, love my hometown of El Paso, but when you fly in, you know, it's brown. A lot of desert, a lot of mountains, which is beautiful. But I had never seen anything quite like flying into Savannah, Georgia, where all I could see was green everywhere, all over the place.
Right.
So,
It's beautiful.
it is so beautiful. So pretty. Hey there, Chris.
Hey.
Look at that. Chris is in a tie.
Oh yeah.
Chris
Suit
is
and
looking
tie.
good
Church
today.
this morning. Yeah.
Very handsome,
Took a
Chris.
great group photo today.
Beto, you
Really
had
nice.
you had a suit and tie on today as well.
I did.
Yep.
When you're going to church,
Yeah.
you want to look good.
Well, you and
I
Chris
do.
both look great today.
I tried.
You two, I did ironing last night.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
You ironed?
Not gonna go to church in a wrinkly shirt.
Beto, do you iron?
You know, I buy these non-iron shirts, and if you get them out of the dryer in time, when like there's still like a touch of moisture in them, and you hang them, you don't need to iron them.
It really
and then if you
works.
fold them appropriately before you put them in your luggage,
Really?
yeah.
Even if they're folded
Well-
up in the...
I mean,
You didn't iron that?
How is are your folding skills good? Clearly.
Well,
my
do you guys
folding
think?
skills are good. Amy's are even better.
Amy's good
She
at...
helps. So like, we're on the road 10 nights
Uh-huh.
this trip, or 10 days. So I needed 10 shirts. And
Okay.
so I folded, Amy, if you're on the live stream, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I folded 7 of them, and Amy was like, we're getting frustrated because it takes me so long. And she
Uh-huh.
said, hey, do you want me to take some of these? And I said, sure, that would be awesome. And so she took 3.
You know, I remember seeing her pack once, one of the kids, when they were with us, their suitcases, and it was so beautifully, perfectly
Oh.
organized, and Amy has some great packing skills.
She's amazing.
So Vicky is saying, Cynthia, please tell him we need him in Montana. Houston,
Oh, I cannot wait to
Asheville,
come back to Montana.
Virginia, Southern Maryland.
We'll go to Glacier Park together.
Oh, so many. Fernanda, gracias.
Gracias, Fernanda.
Gracias, Fernanda. Oh, Natasha says, Chris, you're adorable.
Oh, thank
That
you.
nice? Oh,
Did you know that song?
I do.
What is it?
I like some country, but though.
Stranger came and pulled a gun,
It's a good song.
grabbed her by the arm, said if you do what I tell.
I think this is Tim McGraw, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. The girl. Look right there. Don't take that girl.
Take my money, take my wallet, take my credit cards. Here's a watch that my grandpa gave me. Here's a key to my car, Mister, give it a whirl.
But I have a question. Can I ask? Somebody's asking you to wear a gray dress shirt. Now, I've only seen you in white and blue. Do you own any other colored shirts?
I have it's called checkered, like little boxes.
yeah.
I have one of those shirts that I brought on this trip.
Okay.
But that's it. I just like to keep it simple.
Ooh, I have a question. Anika Jessica saying, Cynthia, what is the quirkiest thing you have learned about our future president? Oh, Chris?
How great he is.
Thank you.
How thoughtful he is.
Okay, I have
Very
something.
smart.
Can I say something about this since you told my jungle story? I'm going to tell this. So, Beto almost never, ever, ever lets me drive. But the couple of times he has let me drive, it really annoys him if I drive in the left lane without, because if cars are passing me on the right, that really bothers you, and you want me to not continuously drive in the left lane, but be courteous and move over, right?
Correct. So I went to the Paddle Rock School of Driving.
Oh no.
And he was very clear about the fact that the left lane is for passing
Okay.
and for the faster traffic. Now, if you were going to go the speed limit exactly or under, get in the right lane and get out of the way. And what you do is you kind of like just hang out in the left lane, and people are passing us on the right. And I just think that presents a very dangerous situation for the driving public. And so it's not so much for me as it is for everyone else that I urge you to get into the right lane. That's it. And my dad drilled it into my head, like I cannot escape.
It's just the correct way to drive, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm learning. I'll get better.
Yeah,
All right. So should we sign off now?
we probably should.
Okay. Yeah, because you have a call to make. Nikki says, sending support and love from Lubbock, Texas. Go, Beto. Say hi to Amy.
Go Lubbock. Go look at Charlotte. Look at Charlotte.
Oh, there we go. Here we come. Somebody wants to know if you're going to speak when we go to Charlotte. Yeah, court. Yep, we sure are.
Do you have details we can give that person?
Bet you Chris can pull it up really
Oh
quick.
yeah.
Chris,
Oh, yeah.
can you pull up?
I can pull it up.
All right, Chris is going to give us some information. Ooh, Ginger says in some states Cynthia would get a ticket for that. Really?
For doing what?
For driving in the left lane.
Oh yes.
Oh no, really?
I think it is technically against the law.
I got it.
Oh.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
We're going to be in Charlotte tomorrow. Beto will be speaking at 8:45 at the Central Piedmont Community College.
It's very precise.
Yep, 8:45 in the a.m. Eastern in Charlotte tomorrow.
If you come at 8:40, is that too early?
8:40 would be an appropriate time to get there if you want to get a good parking spot. Yeah.
And if you come at 9 o'clock, is that too late?
No, we'll make it work. If you get there at 9,
No, but
I'll
get there
personally
early.
get you in.
there
I'll
early.
get
Do
you
not
in.
wait till 9. Get there early.
But 8:45 is the correct time. After that, we'll be at Natty Greens. Now, Natty Greens in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Woo.
We're gonna be there at 12:30, and then after that, we're gonna be at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, 2:45 p.m. And then a little preview of what's next on Tuesday and on Wednesday. We're gonna be in the Commonwealth of Virginia, so that's where we'll be after North Carolina.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Welcome.
Beto, any parting words?
Thank you, South Carolina, as we make our way to the state line and into North Carolina. Just want to thank you for a second visit, every bit as amazing as the first, but meeting so many more people, going to so many more places. Cannot wait to come back, and we're looking forward to seeing you. So,
All right.
until we meet again, good night.
Bye. Bye, Chris.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.